guest. We got a very, very, very special guest with us this evening. I like to call him Mr. Mayor of the city of Rock Island. Mr. Ashley Harris, how you feeling today, my man?
What's up, Quad Cities? You know, I might need to say what's up, world, because shoot, listen, I ain't nothing holding y'all back right now.
Oh, man.
So shoot, what's up, world? Let me speak it into an existence.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What's good, world? We on the Unc Ziggy show.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How you feeling today, man?
Man, you know, it's all good in the hood. You know, I'm happy to be on set. This is a nice setup y'all got, you know, and you guys are actually hiding in plain sight. You know,
Oh yeah.
You pull up outside, it look like one thing. You come in, like I said, it's the Unc Ziggy show.
Oh yeah, man.
For real.
That's it, man. We appreciate you
this,
being here.
Hey, this ain't the Breakfast Club. This like the brunch club right here.
Man.
Oh man, yeah.
You know what I mean? Y'all got breakfast. Y'all got breakfast and lunch, and I don't know what that is in your cup, but man, listen.
You already know.
Hey, he might pour his water in the cup though. I don't know.
Oh yeah, he might.
I don't know.
Hey, but see, you know, with you being the mayor, I kind of didn't know what was,
Man,
appropriate.
but see, respectable is one thing, but y'all need to be comfortable.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
That's
That
cool.
make the best podcast, that get the best flow of the conversation.
Right,
when
right.
folks is comfortable.
Right,
Don't
right.
nobody want to come on set feeling all nervous and uptight.
Yeah,
We're here to get to the bottom of it.
Man.
And
That's
you know,
it.
sometimes you need something warm in your cup to get to the bottom of it.
Man.
Sometimes
You
you
feel
do.
me?
Sometimes you do.
You know, I'm gonna keep him some warm.
That's no made right there. So next time, then there will be a next time you
You know
come
what I
through.
mean?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's gonna definitely be Julio time because you know
I mean, shoot, you could even go to a little paint show and get a sip of wine or something.
just a little sip.
You know what I mean?
Okay. I mean, you know, like I said, I didn't know the protocol, so
You know,
I
hey,
just,
listen, this is our second show.
Yeah.
Who know the protocol?
Yeah.
We're here to figure it out, though.
That's it. That's it. That's it. So, man, you coming fresh off of victory, man. We got a little shirt made for you. Like
Yeah,
that
man.
shirt you got right there?
And like I was telling y'all, you know, I'm feeling the shirt. You know, I'm feeling the shirt, and it could be portrayed as, you know, disrespectful to, you know, certain parties. You know, it could be portrayed as that. But, you know, I'm going to wear it proud because, like I said, it was a gift from y'all. Y'all took the time to make it. And that is symbolic of, like I said, you know, my road here, my underdog road here.
Right,
And then that's just symbolic of, like I said, just the shock and awe of everything of you know, my victory and my win coming to fruition. But, you know, like I said, I give all glory to God, and then, you know, all my supporters. You know, even the people that didn't support me, you know, I'm here for them. And I'm here to, you know, to earn their trust and earn their support. Like I said, you know, I'm here for all people. But like I said, that picture, you know, I'm proud of it because it also signifies, you know, victory.
Exactly.
A long time coming victory.
Exactly. Are you the first African American mayor that we had in a while in Rock Island?
In a while. I'm actually the second, officially the second. The first one, he was in office from 1979 to 1985. And his name was Jim Davis.
Okay.
You know, a good man. He was a pillar in the community.
Okay.
You know, back in the 70s and early 80s, for an African American to even fathom a win back then, you had to be a special kind of pillar. And
Right.
you had to be versatile. You had to be genuine, I would say.
Exactly.
And he was that person. You know, I've heard stories about everything he was involved with. You know, he was the people's mayor, but even before that, he was a principal. He was this, that, and the other. So he put it down in Rock Island. And I'm an 80s baby. I was born in 1980. So officially, when I was born in Moline, you know, came to the crib, Rock Island for the first time a couple of days later. When I first came to Rock Island, I came home to a black mayor. So
Right.
you know,
Okay.
that's somewhere in my muscle memory, somewhere in my DNA.
Exactly.
But like I said, you know, as far as that, it's been a long time coming, fam.
Let me tell you something, though.
Yeah.
And people need to understand that and know that as far as the community and anybody. Man, first of all, it's a pleasure having you. Second of all, congratulations on your victory, because even from then to now, there's still a win. That's
Still a win.
And people need to understand that kids now, they can see it is possible.
Yeah.
All you got to do is do right, be right, live right.
And see, you know, we even have to be careful with calling it a win. Yeah, it's a win, but you know, sometimes we can get lazy in the game and get satisfied and complacent.
Exactly.
And then it'll be very easy for me and the people around me, you know, all of us, to be satisfied with that win.
Exactly.
Thinking we made it, thinking we did something. Man, in the grand scheme of things, we ain't did nothing but make a shirt.
Yeah.
That's all we did
We
right
just
now.
getting started.
That's all we did.
Yeah.
You know, we ain't logged our first W's yet. And I'm talking about with the community. Right. We ain't got no wins yet. So it's time for that. You know, we just not sitting back, like I said, happy that we got, you know, a win. That'd be superficial, that'd be shallow. And we here for real things of substance, real change that comes out at you in 3D.
Exactly.
Them are wins.
Exactly.
But like I said, man, the game ain't even started yet, G.
So you saying like right now it's pretty much you just putting the seeds down and we watering them.
And you know, I've been in office, it'll be 30 days, maybe like tomorrow. Officially 30 days tomorrow.
So we got you right. We got you in your first 30 days then.
And
huh?
yeah, for sure.
Okay.
And the last 30 days, man, you know, I've been taking my time. It's felt like I've been disconnected from what's got me here. You know, the people in the community.
Okay.
It's very easy to allow, you know, your schedule and your calendar, you know, to get out of control, to take you way out of touch. You know, if I'm not careful, man, my calendar and the list of things I got to do, it'll turn me straight up into a politician.
Oh, yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll be like, dang, who is Unc and who is Ziggy?
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah.
But you know, I even made it a point mentally, and I've even spoke it to the supporting staff that, you know, I want my calendar and schedule to reflect what got me here. I need a steady diet of the community.
Exactly.
And I want my schedule to reflect that.
Yeah.
But, you know, like I said, the first 30 days, I have gotten off of that because I need to learn this other side. I need to learn resources and procedures and the way it's done on this side so I can better connect them dots. Because like I said, man, I'm not here for nothing. Right. I'm just not here to sit in no seat. I need to learn what's going on over here to apply it over here and vice versa. You know, bringing the community together. But you know, that's the main thing with that.
Yeah, because it was beautiful, man. I seen the footwork. I actually ran into you over there at Ico.
Okay, yeah. We were supposed to
I was like,
We were supposed to
Yeah, I was like, he outside for real.
Man,
so.
for real. And when I was and you know, that gave me early confirmation, feeling the energy and the excitement from knocking on doors, you know, getting my signatures. And, you know, people was expecting me, you know, just to be in one part of town, you know, just to be in this area, that area, or in the hood. But man, listen, as far as Rock Island campaigning was concerned, man, your boy was international with it, man.
Everywhere.
Yeah. Everywhere.
That's what's up.
So, you know, I'm proud of that. I'm happy of that, and we all happy about the results of that. So, man, it's full speed ahead, Lieutenant.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what's some of your like actual like goals for Rock Island? Like what's the vision you got for Rock Island?
Well, you know, that answer could spread off into a lot of different conversations.
Exactly.
But we just gonna stick to a few principles. We trying to increase our population. That means a lot. You know, if you want more people to come, you need more amenities. You know, you need more job opportunities. You need more better services for things to do. You need more housing. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But ultimately, you know, we're trying to make Rock Island a destination city, a city of choice, not only in the Quad Cities, but in the region. You know, that is the goal. And then once that goal is accomplished, then, you know, our tax base will get back to normal. Property taxes, things of that nature, one portion of it will go down. To have a better educated, even informally, a better educated community.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You know, they was talking about, you know, we've been revitalizing the West Beginning. the West Beginning Revitalization Project. I don't call it the West End no more.
West End, okay.
I don't call it the West End because ain't nothing ending. You know what I mean? I mean, shit, you say it like that.
Yeah.
What can you start when you call it an
Yeah,
end?
it's like they,
You know what I mean? So I call it the West Beginning Revitalization Project. You know, even with that project, you know, their goal is to make the West Beginning, the West Side, a destination.
Okay.
However, you know, like I said, as mayor, I realized that how people look at the West Side, that's how the Quad Cities looks at all of Rock Island.
Right,
You
exactly,
feel me?
exactly.
So the revitalization part is widespread throughout the city. Those are my goals to tackle the negative perception that comes with the town.
Oh, yeah.
You know, something
yeah.
that we haven't been able to shake for a good number of
Long
years.
time.
You know what I mean? And truth be told, you know, there is a little truth in the stereotypes.
Oh, yeah.
You know, there is some things, you know, that need to be addressed. But for the most part, man, it's all cap, man.
Yeah.
You know, and we need leaders that's speaking it like that. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? You know, I take pride in the town. I love the town. You know, if you say the wrong thing, shoot, I might smack you in the town. You know what I mean? Like, listen, that
gotta be you.
Yeah, you still gotta be it.
real talk.
That's it.
That is what I'm here for. You know, Rock Island deserve leaders like that. That's gonna defend the town.
Right, for real.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because a lot of my peers, a lot of my constituents,
Yeah.
you know, they got bad stuff to say about Rock Island.
Yeah, you
in
know how that
comparison,
shit
I ain't got to
goes,
tell y'all that.
Yeah,
Y'all ain't
yeah.
new here.
Yeah.
But you know, like I said, just defending the town, you know, getting our reputation the right way, bringing in things of substance. People talk about economic development. You know, people talk about that all the time.
Exactly.
But you know what that means to me is, you know, people want to bring businesses in. Yeah, that's cool.
Right.
But we need to see employers coming in.
That's
And
true.
it's a slight difference between business and employers. Man, we can bring all the big box, all the name brand stores here all we want, but if we don't have money here in Rock Island to sustain that, it's only a matter of time. You know, as soon as the city services and all the incentives run out, they hit the road. You know what I mean?
It's crazy.
But when we bring employers, when we bring jobs to the area, like I said, that's going to contribute to more people wanting to move to the area, increase our population. You know, and think about it like this: if every person, if the majority of the people you know got paid every Friday,
Right.
can you imagine the economic development from that? It's gonna be, you know, some young brothers putting they, you know, they ain't got to be a lot of money, you know,
Yeah.
$500 a week, but you know, employment, opportunity,
Employment.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then from there, you know, you gonna get some young adults, some young people, older adults putting their money together.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
Ziggy, man, shoot,
Oh,
man,
yeah.
let's save a couple checks, man. Let's open up this barbershop or this podcast. Let's get it cracking.
Yeah.
And throughout the city, with everybody having the financing and the means to do that, that's real economic development.
Exactly.
It doesn't come from the city. The city just is supposed to provide the opportunity for the citizens to do it. It's coming from mom and pops.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Exactly.
So those are my goals. Those are my goals for the town, man. You know, and I come up with a weird, sometimes a weird analogy of things. And you know, if Rock Island was our planet, if this was planet, the whole world, Rock Island, you know, the things that we would have to go to the moon for. Davenport and Moline.
Oh, yeah.
The things we have to leave our
Yeah.
planet to get.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right now,
crazy.
fam, it's simple as this. You know, for a piece of wood or a piece of lumber, we would have to go to the moon.
Oh, yeah.
We ain't got to go to Moline.
We gotta go to Moline.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For a pair of shoes, we
Yeah.
gotta leave Earth to go get a pair of shoes.
Right.
To have a baby, a dry cleaning service. The list goes on and on and on.
On and
So
on.
then you just ask yourself, like, all right, man, what shouldn't we have to go to the moon to get? What should we have right here in Rock Island? You know what I mean? And that starts the vision for building the civilization. That starts the vision of the businesses that we want and need here in Rock Island.
Right.
That's like when they said the Walmart was coming to Rock Island
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
Lincoln
yeah.
Street.
Yeah,
They just
and-
knocked the shit down and left a bunch of dirt over there. You know?
Yep. And you know, we still in debt for that.
Oh yeah.
Man,
Oh,
we
yeah. I can imagine.
We still in debt for that. And what makes it so cold about that, man, you know, I got another analogy for y'all. Y'all into boxing?
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So we go into the boxing match. The two boxers get in there. One dude knocked the other dude out. Okay, right. Couple minutes later, he back on his feet. The fight over. Whoop whoop whoop. You leave, and next month or the month after that, it might be another fight there.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So now imagine us going to the fight. Somebody get knocked out, right? They laid out, knocked out, and then we leave, everybody leave. And then we come back 10 years later.
To another fight.
10 years later to the ring, and that dude is still laying in the ring.
Yeah.
So we gonna be like, dang, this has been 10 years ago. What's good? Is he dead or is he playing dead?
Right.
You feel me?
Right. Yeah.
So that's the analogy I'm bringing up for that old Walmart site.
Right.
People don't even realize that that's been over 10 years ago.
Oh, yeah. Now
You know
that
what I
you
mean?
say it, it has been.
That's been over 10 years ago, and it's like we're still laying down in the ring, playing dead.
Right.
It's time for us to get up and move on with that.
And they even took Chief Blackhawk away after the storm.
You feel me? Yeah. And man, that's
Took him off another street.
the storm came, Chief Blackhawk fell, and man, that's a whole story within its
I know,
own,
man. Rock Island is a historic place. Like a lot of people don't know. Like the old mobsters used to come.
It
through
is.
Rock
It
Island.
is.
It's just,
Man, no doubt. Just and see people say, oh man, we landlocked. It's only certain things that y'all can do in the town. Y'all ain't really got no room for expansion. But what we need to start thinking about is the advantages that we had 200 or 300 years ago with being this close to the river.
right.
This was prime time right
Yeah,
here.
it was prime real estate.
Prime time.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Oh, yeah.
So we need to look in a lens like that to see what advantages, how those advantages translate to today's time.
Right.
With us being right here on the Mississippi River.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I don't know if we need to start selling water or
Man.
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know what we got.
But Rock Island is positioned, in addition to the history, we are rich here, and we're positioned in an area to where it ain't no reason why we shouldn't be thriving.
Right.
You feel me?
Exactly.
So man, it's just looking at it like that, applying ourselves, towards that vision and turning Rock Island around, G.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm with it. I'm with it because it's just so. It's like, man, it's rough because I feel like as a Quad Cities as a whole, it's like every city is willing to invest in themselves, but it's like with us, it's like, I mean, it's like only the downtown area is on the come up.
And when you look at Rock Island on the map, the area that we call downtown is actually uptown.
If you look at it,
North of the city.
Exactly.
That's uptown.
Yeah.
Coming
across the bridge.
That's north.
Yeah,
that's uptown.
Yeah.
You
That
feel
would
me?
be the uptown if you
know what I mean?
consider it coming from Davenport.
That's north of the city. That's uptown to us.
Exactly.
And that's just symbolic of how people look at Rock Island upside down.
Okay.
You feel me?
I got you.
Because like I said, when you look at Rock Island on the map, strategically, we are hemorrhaging money. Let me tell you a not so funny fact. The village of Milan, they have more sales tax revenue than the city of Rock Island.
Damn.
Listen. So when we think of the village of Milan, we just thinking of this little cluster down here. High V and you know what I mean? Whatever Happy Joe's is called, all that, the old skate ranch, all that stuff. Right? That little area that we thinking of, man, is generating more money than the city of Rock Island. That's unacceptable. You feel me?
Wow.
It's unacceptable. So when we got Blackhawk Road, that's Rock Island's busiest intersection in the city. Blackhawk Road. Blackhawk Road. And the possibilities for economic development out there are, as far as I'm concerned, are endless. The biggest thing we got out there right now on our busiest road is a storage facility. Something symbolically encouraging you, promoting, hey, move.
Right, yeah.
Hey, pack your stuff up and get up out of here.
Yeah.
That's unacceptable, G.
No.
So I'm just looking at this stuff in a different lens, fam.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I said, man, we got plenty of areas in the town, uptown, downtown, 11th Street, you know, up to 38th and beyond that we can do to revitalize, increase the possibility of quality of life here to keep our money and our people here. You
Right.
shouldn't have to go to Moline for anything, bro.
Right.
If we want to sit down at what we would call like a nice restaurant, fam, we
yeah.
in the D somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
We in
yeah.
Moline somewhere.
Yeah.
That is unacceptable.
We should
And,
bring-
and those are things I'm just not going along to get along with. We here to change some stuff.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? 4 years from now, if we still talking about these real issues, then somebody done got in office sitting in that seat and fell asleep.
Oh yeah.
And that ain't gonna be me.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Oh, that's it.
You know
That's
what I
I'm
mean?
talking about.
That ain't gonna be me.
You ready to hit the switch and turn it up?
I'm telling you, man, because like I said, you know, like if it makes sense to y'all, I'm not comfortable. You know what I mean? I'm not comfortable here if it makes sense. Because like I said, you know, when people get comfortable, they get relaxed.
Exactly.
They may fall asleep.
Exactly.
So I keep my sensitivity on 10. So complaints, concerns, things that have been going on a long time, they're not falling on deaf ears.
Right.
You know, ain't nothing cliche to me. You know what I mean? Everything is hit me. And like I said, I like to say sensitive like that. So we can really get moving on some things.
You know what that shirt symbolizes to me?
Well, tell me about it.
Clock in. You clocking in. It's time for you to clock in.
Okay.
You working.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
working.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
I know you. You know,
Punch
I know
in,
you
baby.
outside.
Yeah, you punching
Punch
it.
in.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go. That's your name.
Yeah.
Punch
Hey,
in. I want your name.
that's
Yeah.
what we do. That's what we do in the shop.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Punch in.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So by the way, we gonna have shirts for sale. Punch in. Always punch in. Always hustling.
Always punch in.
Punch
Always
in.
punch in.
Punch in, baby. Punch in.
And like I said, man, I'm here. You know, I'm here to do the real work. I'm happy that everybody else is happy. You know, that's a glorious feeling, man.
Right.
You know, when people, you know, momentarily don't feel hopeless anymore.
Right.
You know, momentarily we have an opportunity to normalize different things.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like
Exactly.
I done pulled up at the shop. You know, the homie, he was like, man, you know, the mayor ain't never pulled up at the shop.
Right.
You know, things like that.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
well, if that's true, then we need to start normalizing different things.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we have you know, we got a man of the people at hand.
Yeah, and it's like you the people's champ right now, man.
So, like I said, man, we go and to maintain that, man, like I said, it's a certain set of principles, and the main thing is just you know, just staying humble, laying on the seabed of humility, drowning in it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Drowning in it.
Exactly.
And you know, just doing right by the people, man, and realizing who I work for. I don't work for, you know, 5 or 6 people. You know,
Right.
I ain't for sale.
right.
You know, I
Right.
work for about 36,000 people.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody.
Everybody.
And just being you know, I've said this before, just being a public servant by definition. By definition, G.
And you like a fresh breath of air for us.
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
Rock Island.
And that fresh of breath air, that has to turn into, okay, we can move now.
Exactly.
We
Exactly.
just ain't gonna fill our lungs up just
yeah.
and then get cozy back down. Nah, bro.
Yeah. Nah.
No, that's one of them. Okay, let's get up now.
Yeah. Yep. Let's go.
That's what that is.
Let's
So
go.
man, you know, and that is that's coming from, you know, a new level of accountability, G. You know, I got people around me, you know, like my mom and my grandma and them, you know, praying for me, you know, like, you know, for the most part, you know, everybody around me, they not gonna let me fall asleep.
Exactly.
You know, because they're expecting more. Fam, you know, we have to be better. We have to be better.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't get in here and do the same thing that's been done.
Yeah.
We have to be better, or that's failure. And then
yeah.
and them been the rules for, you know, 100 years now.
Oh,
We
yeah.
got to be better.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
yeah.
didn't stop. It didn't stop.
You know what I mean?
Definitely didn't stop.
Shoot.
Yeah. So, what's some of like the craziest like expectations like people like try to put on you since you got in position? Like some of the craziest shit you heard, like with people like, man, you should do this and you should do that. Because I made a status on Facebook and I was like, I think you should open books back up.
Open what?
Open books back up.
And see, the family wouldn't be interested in that.
You said they wouldn't?
No, they probably wouldn't be interested in that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I was just talking.
Yeah,
just see the
but
little humor.
But listen. I mean, shoot, we got the Elks now.
I love the Elks.
Man,
shout outs to the
Oh
Elks.
man, shout out to the Elks.
Hey, shout out to the Elks.
Yes, Hey,
you know what I mean?
they
Miss
make
Dana,
drinks
Miss
just as good as I do.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, and probably better. Probably better.
Oh yeah.
I tell you what, like I said, we'll have a party in the Elks, but I ain't doing no podcast. Listen, not in the Elks.
We might have to catch you at the Elks one night, get a couple winners, man.
Listen, I'm telling you, things might get saucy, G. We might get to talking for real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, they have you coming out. Hey, I done came out the Elks one night, thought I got cerebral palsy after I left out of there after them drinks. I'm telling you, man.
Shoot, one to have you on lean. One. But shoot, more than that, listen, what you down there trying to prove?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? What you trying to do with it?
You trying to show the world you a gladiator after 2-3 drinks
what?
over there, yeah.
For what?
Yeah.
But man, some of the it's been 30 days. I got an open door. Open door. Anybody can come down there. I done talked to a lot of different residences. And I haven't encountered anything that I would consider like too wild and crazy.
Yeah.
Because
it's still fresh.
It's still fresh.
Okay,
like I said, if we go somewhere and do something for the first time, we don't know what to expect when we get in there.
Okay.
So if you come in and I still on you, it wouldn't be as wild. It makes you be like, okay, this is how they get down in here.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
okay. It's not like I had a pattern or a book to read before I got there.
Right.
To be like, all right, man, now I'm used to this, but what just happened there is wild.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what wild is.
Okay.
So we taking it, we able to turn the volume up or down on any level.
Okay.
And typically I got my own energy and my own vibration, but for the past 30 days, I've been matching energy. And I typically don't do that.
Okay.
But like I said, that's just me getting the parameters of everything.
Right.
Learn, like I said, learning this side because, for the most part, man, I don't know what I don't know.
Right.
Like I said, I'm here learning every day. I'm listening every day and just trying to really, really serve the people.
Okay.
It don't matter what you come in with. If I can help you, that's what it is.
Okay.
That's what it is.
So like the residents coming and hollering at you, is that like to like maybe like try to get them like a grant to maybe fix their houses and things like that? Is it like a program?
Yeah,
are those programs around Rock Island still? Or?
Yep. Rock Island has Rock Island and supporting agencies have all types of different programs.
Okay.
That encourage people to move to Rock Island. That give them help and assistance with their business,
right?
The creation of their business,
okay,
and all support pertaining to that,
okay.
And that's just not in one grant program or one department. It's all over. It's all over. It's all over. And to see what that looks like and how it moves, man, I'm still learning the process.
So you saying that to say, while you're here, you should take advantage.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. Because like I said, man, we here for some real help.
Right.
We here for some real assistance.
Exactly.
Not just to, throw money around or waste money, like we've been doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We've been doing.
New bike paths. And shit, and it's
me and Unc was just talking last week, about about real help. I know the city, they had invested in a facade program, to where they'll give you money to, fix up the little outside of your spot,
Okay,
the signage area and everything.
yeah.
But that's fine and dandy.
That's cool.
That's fine and
cool.
dandy.
That's cool.
A lot of times you need to look the part.
Yeah,
You got
exactly.
to look the part now.
Exactly.
I'm not
Got to.
downplaying looking the part.
Yeah.
But with Rock Island, we're in the position we are in right now. It's best to be the part and not look the part so much.
Exactly.
You feel me?
Exactly.
So would y'all rather have $10,000 for everybody to know y'all here,
Right.
or $10,000 for the work that's going into this mug?
Probably the work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's just a few things, man. Just looking to build some programs that actually help the business,
Exactly.
and not just the look of the business,
Right.
not just like an eye candy. You know what I mean?
It's more like getting your hair done, but if you need, it's like, say if you need heart surgery,
Yes.
you skipping the heart surgery,
Yes.
but you're going to get your hair
Yeah.
done.
So I'm giving you $20. You go get a fade when you knowing you need a bypass or whatever.
Right. A
Come
root
on
canal
now.
on your tooth or something.
Come on now.
Yeah.
And then I would be bogus to even offer you fade money knowing you need a triple bypass.
Oh yeah.
Or
yeah.
people do this all the time. You go buy a pair of Jordans and you walk it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Make no sense.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But
I think that's the number one. And
like I said, it'll be a double whammy if the people selling or giving you the shoes, if they know what you really need.
Exactly. For sure.
You know what I mean? We can find tragedy in that.
Oh yeah.
And like I said, man, we just here to do nothing for the show, but everything is for progress and productivity.
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
Exactly. We,
And that's just keeping it 100 with you.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We could dig it because man, it's like I said, I didn't even know who the mayor of Rock Island was until you.
Until I pulled up on you.
No, I'm talking about before. Our mayor. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I don't know. I'm not. Because I see when you won, they try to make it a race thing.
Yeah, man, and I never really did address that. I never did even comment on that, man.
So could I ask you what you think about that?
Nothing to even comment on because it's nonsense.
Right.
Listen. We keeping it 100, right?
Right.
Okay. So if race was involved, I would not be the mayor.
Right. Yeah.
If this was based off of race,
Right.
I wouldn't be the mayor right now.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, for sure. That's what I'm saying.
So for me to be the mayor, if anything, that's reflecting of it not being about race.
Okay. Right.
And let me give you some more real numbers. Black people ain't enough to put somebody in office.
Hey, I told somebody.
Man.
Black people ain't enough.
Nah.
You want and you need the support, but the black vote ain't enough to I ain't gonna say do nothing. I'm not gonna say that.
You're right,
but
right.
It's not enough for that just to be your only component.
Correct,
So
right.
for them to even utter the words it's about race, man, that's the stupidest stuff. That's the stupidest stuff I've heard. Because in real life it don't make sense, and on paper it don't make sense.
It don't make sense.
So man, I didn't even address that stupid stuff, man.
Yeah, I was just throwing it out there.
And that is another sign on a deeper level. That's just another sign of them having Rock Island in a negative light.
Exactly.
Because that night, we had election results all over the Quad Cities.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So they said, I remember reading, they was like, oh man, good news in Galesburg. You know what I mean? Good news here, good news there. Upset in Rock Island.
Yeah, I seen that. I'm like, why is it an upset?
Upset. So that's almost like everybody else is winning, but Rock Island the only ones that lost.
Right.
How and you see how that can be portrayed?
Yeah, it's like,
you know what I mean?
like, come on,
So
that's
that is
bullshit.
another sign of Rock Island's perception.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Correct.
So this is my first time ever even like publicly commenting on, you know, the results, how they portrayed it, what they said about it, and all that stuff. Man, that wasn't no upset to me.
No, it was a victory for
That
us.
is a victories on victories, baby.
Yeah, that's it.
You know what I mean?
That's it.
And it took it took Rock Island to make that happen. Not just the black community, not just this, not just that, but Rock Island made that happen. And you know, to God be the glory.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And let me
Man,
ask you
look.
this though,
Yeah.
as a child,
Yeah.
from then to now,
Yeah.
did you ever imagine something like this?
Nothing like this. But don't let that answer let you think that I haven't dreamed bigger things.
Right.
Just nothing like this.
Right.
You know, like as a child, you know, I have, you know, still do have, you know, lofty dreams and goals. Right. But I never thought it would turn into politics. Like being like a public servant or an elected official. Never thought that. I know maybe like a year or two ago, I got to praying on being put in better position to help more people.
Okay.
You know, because like 4 years ago, I was community building up until late last year. So I did that for about 4 years total. I was community building, and my phone, man, it looked like a phone, but really it was a fire extinguisher. You know, putting fires out and helping people and doing this. But half of the people that was calling me, you know, 40-50% of the people that was calling me, I couldn't do nothing for. I couldn't help them.
Okay.
And me being like a helper, a fixer, you know, like an extreme empath, straight up,
Right.
man, that hurt me.
Right.
You know, that you know, kind of upset me. So I got to praying to be. I was like, okay, you know, I want to be put in a position to when you call me, you ain't got to call nobody else.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's just me praying for power, authority, and position, not for me, but to serve better.
Serve better.
I want to be put in a position to where I can help more people. So I didn't know if that was going to, you know, lead me to be in a pulpit somewhere, like a deacon or something, or politics. I didn't know then. You know, I was just doing my thing.
So when did you start thinking like now, like when you was getting closer to winning?
Yeah.
I should say, you know, the more you were in the race, like,
Yeah.
when did it hit you? Like, man, I'm really finna take this shit.
Before I officially joined the race.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Putting the footwork in?
Huh?
When you was putting the footwork in?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, even before I started to put the footwork in. You know, like when you want to run for office, the first thing you got to do is go down there and get a little application packet.
Okay. That's all it consists of?
You know, a packet of, you know, who you are. You got to fill out a couple forms, and then, you know, you turn it in, and then that's when you go on record, like, okay, this person wants to run for office.
Okay.
That's when everything's like public. Okay. Who do we have wanting to run for mayor? Who do we have wanting to run for this? That packet, you know, they had a deadline on that. You know, you have to pick it up on this day, and it's due, you know, 3 or 4 weeks later after that.
Okay.
But when I picked up my packet, you know, I kind of did, you know, my own numbers in my head.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I knew that I wasn't starting from the ground level. You know, I knew that, like with my previous position, you know, community building, I had been out in the community. I had been putting work in. You know, that wasn't people's first time hearing about Ashley. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that gave me the opportunity, like I said, not just to be local, not just to be in one part of town, but to be international.
Okay.
Right? So I'm like, okay, off that alone, I have a good shot at this.
Exactly.
And then looking at the old mayor, he had been there for 8 years. He was asking for another 4 years, which would have been 12 years total. Now, think about it like this, 12 years. from the time a kid is in kindergarten to the time they graduate.
12
right?
years.
12 years.
Right.
That's almost a whole generation. That's almost a whole like lifetime
Feel
to
like a
you and the
lifetime.
kid.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm like, okay, we cannot afford 12 years of not really doing our full potential here in Rock Island.
Exactly.
You feel what I'm saying?
So we like 8 years of mediocrity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mediocre shit.
So 12 years of that?
Yeah.
Man, listen. Man, let me tell you the truth, man. You know, another 4 years of not popping into the gear, not hitting that NOS button, you know, this wouldn't be Rock Island no more, G. This would be West Moline.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you.
Or North Milan.
North Milan. Yeah,
Right.
North
Let me
Milan.
ask you this.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you 2 questions.
Yeah.
The first question is, when you ran, how many people did sign that paper? You know, how many people put the paper in?
Yeah.
So the second question,
yeah.
I'm gonna let you answer that same. The second, when you went to bed, you woke up that morning, you know you want what you say. Did you bust a window? I mean, just a man like I'm the man.
Yeah. The second question, waking up that Wednesday morning, it was no. I didn't feel none of that because this is something that I had been processing for months now.
Okay.
Because like I said, man, when I turned in my paperwork, I was confident that I was gonna win this thing.
Okay.
So when you think you're gonna win and when you think strongly that you're gonna win, your thoughts are already playing out that life,
Right.
that situation.
Right.
So when it really happened, it wasn't anything like new.
Right.
That's good.
I mean, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a shock. It wasn't a like, okay, man, we here now. Now what?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. It was-
I never been through that moment because, like I said, this wasn't surprising to me. I've been processed that. I've been had daydreams about situations like this. I've been, you know, I'm done read up on some things. So nothing. I never had the man. We did it. Now what? Or we here now? Like dang. You know, I never had that moment, man. So I woke up the next morning and for the most part, you know, I just made it a point just to stay away from my phone. That was the only thing I made a point of. Just to stay away from that phone. man.
Was it just for that day or just for a few hours?
No, it was actually a couple days, man.
Okay,
Because it took me about a week and a half of getting back with everybody.
Okay.
Like all on all platforms, excuse me, on Messenger, on like some like Facebook stuff, emails, you know, a couple different email accounts,
Because you're just all over the place.
phone calls,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
just
yeah.
And man, I didn't want to overwhelm myself off things that I wasn't trying to cash in on.
Okay.
You know, if I'm here for that instant gratification, for the clout,
Right.
you know, I could have feasted on that for a couple days.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't want none of that in my system.
Okay.
None of it. So man, I stayed away from that phone, man.
Yeah.
You know, that was the main thing. I stayed away from the phone.
You can pull
And
you out of reality.
I'm telling you the truth, bro.
Yeah.
I'm telling you the truth. And then just like I said, you know, not coming in trying to do too much.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
man, I'm not here to save the world. You know, I'm not here feeling obligated to be the smartest person in the room. If
Right.
I'm ever the smartest person in the room, we need to do some reevaluating.
Right.
Real talk. I ain't no
It's a
dummy.
different room,
But
yeah.
where we want to go, listen, I'm not going to be the smartest in the room.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
So yeah, man, and you know, not being the smartest in the room, knowing that I'm not here to play hero ball. You know what I mean? I'm
Right.
not here, you know, thinking I could save the day. I'm not here to come up with solutions. I'm here to support solutions.
Right.
That's all I'm here for.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm just to support people in the way they need to be supported, and that's not recreating the wheel on nothing.
Okay.
That's not me coming up with nothing new, because like we talked at the beginning of the segment, Rock Island's very, very rich in tradition and in people.
Oh yeah.
If we just had the proper support, it wouldn't take nothing special. The ingredients, the people, and the makeup is the bones are already here. It just needs to be supported the right way.
So when you say we don't have that type of support, like what's your definition of that? Like,
Okay,
you saying
I could give you examples on
just a few examples.
Yeah.
Because I know you can go on and long with it. But
I could give you examples on a big city level.
right.
But let's fine tune it to the West Side. The West beginning, right?
Right.
Like for instance, the King Center. The King Center is just recently celebrating their 50-year anniversary.
Wow.
Been there 50 years.
Shout out to the King Center.
50 years.
Shout out. King
So
Center.
when they first came about in 1975, the mission, the goal of them, the purpose was to be put in the poorest, underdeveloped part of town.
Okay.
So they could come in, help with resources and services.
Okay.
Right. So now that was their original mission, to be put in a part of town to where, it's poor people. People need help. People need services. Now, 50 years later, they're still in the same poorest part of town.
Right.
They still in the same area that they were put there to.
Why didn't they get up there by the hospital or something?
No.
Are you just saying like
not even that? Why is that area still
the poorest part
of town?
Okay,
That's what I'm getting at.
I got you.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So I bring up that example to answer your question, man. That just what it looks like when
that's perfect example.
That's perfect example.
That's perfect example.
You don't get no better than that.
Don't get no
you feel
better.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that lets you know on paper and in real life, through generations that, hey, it's been some neglect here.
Yeah.
Hey, it has been the lack of support here.
Exactly.
You feel me?
Exactly.
So that's just a picture of the type of support that can be different from yesterday as opposed to right now, here today, our time.
Oh yeah. Oh, that made plenty of sense.
You feel me?
You just broke it down.
Yeah,
Can't get no better than that.
And we can go on and on. We can go, to 11th Street. And then this gonna hurt their feelings. We could go to Black Hawk Road. They don't want to hear that, but Black Hawk Road, like 11th Street, has been neglected for years, fam.
Oh yeah. By the way, shout out to A to B Detail on 11th Street.
Oh, for sure.
We raising our hand. We need help.
Shout outs to A to B Detail.
So we got a lot of different sectors and fashions within the city, throughout the city that have not been supported.
Right.
Yeah.
So
could you think of like any reason why?
Few reasons. One, like I said, we've never had leaders that really understand that the stereotype is really some BS.
Right. Right.
And with that understanding, even if they did have the understanding, ain't nobody defending the town. Ain't nobody protecting the town. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
And like I said, you know how I am with the town.
Right. If we talk
get to
about
talking bad, listen, we throwing balls now.
Hey.
It's going down.
You know what I mean?
Shout out to the mayor throwing blows.
hey, I'm telling you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Rock Island, man, Rock Island deserves, we deserve a leader like that right now, man.
We do.
Like
it's
I
been
said,
too long, man.
Yeah,
It's been too long.
we deserve a leader like that. Like I said, somebody that that knows what's being said, and somebody that can understand, like, okay, the little bit of truth in that.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And
Exactly.
then address everything accordingly, man. Like I said, I'm not here to come up with solutions, man. I'm just here to support solutions.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
Well, hey, man.
And I'm learning exactly how I can best serve you. That's what that's the last 30 days I've been learning how to best serve you, because I am your representative when it comes to government, when it comes to city, and not just black folks,
sir.
all folks.
All folks, yeah.
Rock Island.
All of Rock
You know what I mean?
Island.
All of Rock Island. Because people can easily assume when I say us,
You just talking about, yeah.
I'm just talking about black folks.
Again. They stereotype.
Hey,
We're talking about when he says
the
us.
when I say us, I mean Rock Island.
The people of Rock. Let's make it clear. He's talking about the people of Rock Island.
I just don't mean the black folks or the brothers, that's in the house with me right now. When I said I mean Rock Island, and I reiterate that because, like I said, it's easy to assume that I just very well could be talking about black people.
Oh yeah. You
know what I mean?
But we already know what you're talking about because people don't understand that's how you won from the community.
From the community.
From all humans. Don't get it twisted.
From the community.
I'm going to keep it 100. It ain't enough of us to put you in office.
Yes.
And then half of us ain't going to go vote anyway for two.
Yeah.
You did a good thing. You're a great person. Keep doing what you're doing, man. I'm telling you.
So this is like could you break it down for like the people that don't understand? Mm-hmm. Like with the mayors, is every 4-year election, right?
Yep. The mayor's term is 4 years.
Okay.
And after 4 years, one would have to run again.
Okay.
Or not, whatever you want to do. But you would have the opportunity to be reelected 4 years. 4 years from now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's how that break down.
Okay.
So does it matter how many? Because you say he was going to run again.
Yeah.
So that would have been 3. So you can run many times you want.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So
it ain't like the president.
It ain't no term limit on it. And man, shout out to Mark Schwiebert. Y'all know Mark Schwiebert?
I know.
Who's that?
Well, I got the Mark Schwiebert Park.
Okay. The Schwiebert Park. Yeah, let's start there. Schwiebert Park was named after a mayor of Rock Island, the longest serving mayor. Schwiebert was in office like 20 years. From Schwiebert was in office from like the late 80s maybe throughout all the 90s through to the mid 2000s.
Okay.
Schwiebert. And he was here like winning.
Okay.
Crushing mugs. He was winning.
Oh, he was doing
and
his thing.
they named Schwiebert Park after him.
Okay.
So for somebody to be in office for 20 years, either the community is sleep at the wheel, complacent, or he just in there doing some good work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But even that was during a time to where Rock Island was still getting a bad rep. In the 90s.
Oh yeah. It was,
you know what I mean?
I grew up, yeah. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you straight.
What part of Rock Island did you grow up in? All over?
No, not all over.
Okay.
11th Street.
11th Street.
And that was in close proximity to the Douglas Park area. I'm just right on the other side of 18th Avenue.
Oh, that's where I grew up at.
You know what I mean? Just right off 11th Street on the other side of 18th Avenue.
Yeah. Okay.
So like when I hit a couple blocks, I'm on the west side.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm down there on 12th Street.
JJ's
like the half.
Yeah.
Over there, Arsenal Courts, they call it ACP.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So
shout out to the ACP.
That was in like walking distance. Plus, my grandma, she lived over there down the street from Morrison Barbershop. Okay. So when I would go visit her, like every weekend, stuff like that, I'm in, right where I need to be.
Oh yeah.
You feel me?
Oh yeah.
Like the Green Store. I'm hearing Metro.
Oh
beat up down the street. Beat the block down. Shout out to Metro.
That was nostalgic Rock Island
You feel what I'm saying?
Do you remember when they used to have the showdown up there at Rocky?
Man, listen. Used to get it in.
We got to bring that back.
You got to bring it back, man. Yeah. As well as our downtown festivals, man.
Oh yeah.
Jamaica
Gumbo Yayas.
Gumbo Yaya. And see, man, when was the last time y'all even thought about how we used to do the 3-on-3 tournament?
Oh yeah.
It
was 2020 was just
It's
talking about like bringing back the Marquette Street Fest, and then
everything, man.
The 3-on-3 was at the King Center, right?
No, that was at the Mark. That was at like the expo center. Yeah. But like I said, man, it was a big deal. And going back to like goals and things you want to accomplish for all of our citizens, you know what I mean? We need to be the city that will provide an opportunity for you to live out your glory days.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like I said, mugs around here, they don't know nothing about no glory days, man.
Man.
You know,
Man.
and for our youngsters coming up here in the town,
Yeah.
man, what they got to do to even experience glory days? They graduate, they leave, they get a taste of something real or something different. They don't want to come back to the town, man.
They don't want to come
back.
They don't want to come back.
The only thing to bring them back is them making sacrifices. Like, man, I got to go back because I got to look after my grandma.
Somebody got sick.
You know, I gotta, you know what I mean? I gotta look after mom and dad now, you know, they getting up there in age.
Yeah.
But even still, coming back, you will still have to make sacrifices with your employment opportunity,
Right.
with your enjoyment of a nightlife or a day life.
Right.
Or you used to being used to certain amenities.
Exactly.
Those are things to where we're working towards. You don't have to make those sacrifices to come back to Rock Island.
Yeah.
We got them job opportunities.
We got 'em.
career advancement opportunities. You know, we got these different amendments.
Yeah.
We have an area to where, like I said, whether you're still in school, you know, a young adult, an adult or an elderly person, we got a shot for you. We got things for you to live out your glory days.
Oh yeah, because I grew up in Maple Ridge, man. I remember like you can get you a job in Rock Island. They had the lumber yard out there.
All kind of things,
the
man.
lumber yard. Then they had the service rubber. They had all that shit back in the day.
All kind of things.
Like
And
now, if you want a job, you gotta go to Davenport. You gotta go to Moline. You gotta go to Bettendorf. You know what I mean? So
Got to. And like I said, man, those are some things to where, you know, that is 2020 vision, you know, things we can just easily see.
yeah, exactly.
You know, all the needs of the town, all the deficiencies that's going on in the town. We can see it with clear vision, man. It's just about working towards actual solutions to achieve that.
That's
you know,
it.
I'm not here. I'm not here well off. You know what I mean? Like I said, you know, this game has been designed for retired people with money.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
That's what it's been designed for.
That's it.
Retired people with money. You know, people was asking me like, man, Ash, how do you got time, man? Aren't you still working?
Yeah.
How do you have time? Well, you know, like when people get to speaking on the little love language stuff, you know, like how women and stuff, they be saying, people make time for what they really want.
Right.
Right in front of your eyes. You know what I mean? Right. I'm making time. No, I don't have time, but I'm making time for what I really want.
Exactly.
There you go.
You feel me? So you know, that's just the thing on that, G.
And let me ask you this. There's something bothering me since I've been living here. How can somebody, and we're not going to say no names, like, how can somebody try to run something and you come from money? Not saying you, but an individual come from money.
Yeah.
You don't know what it's like to be poor.
Yeah.
And I don't say poor, I say poor.
Yeah.
Because we woke up with rice and powdered milk and lots of cheese and stuff like that. They don't understand that living.
Yeah.
So I see your motive and I see your vision.
Yeah.
You want to go this way, not back that way.
Exactly.
That's why we appreciate you. You know
with the understanding of all parties involved. If I would have came from money, if I would have came from this and that, like I said, if I even would stick to the normal mayoral calendar, those are things that'll take you out of touch, man.
Yeah.
That easily take you out of touch.
Easily.
To where like you know, you almost like you ain't from Rock Island no more.
Yeah. You just like.
Because you don't understand.
You understand what I'm saying?
You know, and I tell people, man, it's like this. It's just like drug counselor.
Yeah.
Ex-dope fiend is a good drug counselor because they been there. You can't take nobody that never done nothing.
Understand.
How the hell you want to tell me something you ain't never seen?
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
that's why we love you.
So when you see things like that, I'm not bringing up that little facade program no more. But when you see things like that, people help you, but they don't know how to help you.
Exactly.
Right.
And that's a facade. So bring it up. Yeah. That's a facade.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I know how to really help you, G.
Right. Right.
Exactly.
And it ain't even gonna take me 10 bands. You know, I know how to really help you.
That's why when he pulled up to my shop, I said, "Damn!" I gotta get a picture.
That's why we coming to get the help. So if y'all listening, City of Rock Island,
don't talk to my man.
You know,
he will listen. He got a listening ear.
You
don't
know,
mind helping. He gonna do everything he can possibly, not just black, but everybody. Humans.
Yeah.
Let's just say humans. We don't do words.
Yeah.
All humans.
Yeah.
Okay. All humans.
And strengthening up Rock Island to where the city can help more and be a part of more.
Right.
Have more resources. Like I said, man,
we need to be included.
To increase the quality of life for the Rock Island citizens, man.
Yes,
you know, because our population back when we was juking, back when we was on, listen, we was easy over 50,000 people, easy. Yeah. And right now we're right around like 36,000. You know,
that's terrible.
So you know,
that's a lot of people leaving.
A lot of people, man.
That's a lot of people.
And we've been the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years, we've been on a steady decline.
Right.
Steady decline.
Right.
Population getting lower and lower, lower and lower. So man, we gotta, like I said, we gotta stop the hemorrhage of people. We gotta buck that trend. Sure, man, it's time to go this way.
It's time to go this way.
It's time to go this way.
Yeah.
And like I said, that's gonna take a lot of different things, but it's just sticking to them principles.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, so anybody you want to give a shout out to, man, and anybody who like stuck like right next to you during the race, and you just know like, man, this, you know, they just rocked with you no matter what.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, a lot of times, like I said, you know, I like to keep the team under the wraps.
Okay, I got you.
Like when they talk about inner circles and everything.
Yeah.
I like to keep, you know, question marks and mystery.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But I will give a shout out to the few people that helped me with my campaign. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I'm gonna give out a shout out to Kermit. You know, he helped me.
Okay.
Tremendously. I'm gonna give a shout out to William with Refined Touch Media.
Okay.
You know, he did good, excellent, brilliant work, and a special shout out to him because he touched up on all my weaknesses. I'm not no Facebook person.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So he got you more in the social media outlet.
He took that over.
Okay.
Like, hey, he took I don't even want it on my phone.
Oh, okay.
Don't even want the app on my phone.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And it's hard to be like that while you're trying to run a campaign.
Yes, sir.
You feel me?
Yes,
I mean,
sir.
you kind of need social media.
Yeah.
So I've never been that type. That's always been hard for me to process. So he held that down. You know, from social media, from Facebook to LinkedIn. He got me jumping on LinkedIn, fam. And like LinkedIn, you know, I rock with LinkedIn now more so than Facebook.
Right.
You know, but LinkedIn, that's like a spot to where, you know, you need like hella degrees and like a full resume of stuff. Mm-hmm. Man, I ain't got none of that.
Yeah.
I ain't got none of that. And William had me on there like jumping with it though.
Yeah.
So shout out to William.
Shout out
to William. I couldn't have did it without you. And then shout out to Rashida. You know, I'm strategically, I'm real world conversations, support, a day one rider. Shout out to Rashida Jameson.
Rashida Jameson. That's my cousin.
You know, that's your cousin?
Yeah, Jeremiah Jameson, my cousin.
And listen, shout out to Big Mo too.
Yep, Big Mo.
Shout out Big Mo.
Shout out because like I said, from then until now, I couldn't have did it without them.
Yes, sir.
Couldn't have did it without them, fam. And that's just being straight up 100 with you.
Yes, sir. Well, man, we appreciate you for coming in. You know, this is our second episode, man. And hey, man, we just definitely appreciate you coming, man. Wish you the most success. Hope you enjoying it, man. First 30 days in office, man.
Yeah.
You looking good, feeling good, man.
Appreciate it, man.
Let's do this for Rock Island, man. That's all.
Man,
That's
appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
And man, you know, like I said, I just want to say thank you for having me. I look forward to coming again. And next time I come, like I said, I'm gonna be able to talk about some actual wins and not just no little
Right.
on a t-shirt win.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some actual wins or some actual progress and some actual success stories and some actual before and after situations and scenarios. That's what I'm looking forward to, man, because we not here for nothing.
Right.
We're not here to waste no time, and we're not here just to be here.
Yeah.
So,
Trying to get shit done in
shout
Rock
out to Rock Island. Shout out to all the stakeholders. Shout out to everybody who really love the town. You know, everybody who will defend the town and proud to be from here. It's gonna take that. And then I ask that not only believe in the town, believe in the people in the town.
Right.
That's very important as well.
Yes, sir.
You know, we got to believe in the people just as much as we believe in the town. So when we get our beliefs and our heart in the right spot, man, Rock Island gonna be undefeated around this joint, man.
Come on, man.
There you go.
Straight unstoppable.
Come on, man.
And that ain't no secret.
And we got ourselves a young black leader, man.
Yes, sir.
They don't got that nowhere else. Well,
And-
in
and-
Quad City.
And see, a lot of people didn't know this. I didn't know this I didn't realize this until maybe like a month ago. You know, on the Illinois side, the Quad Cities, we have all minority mayors.
Yes, sir.
All minority mayors. Yeah. East Moline.
Shout out to Reggie.
Mayor Sangeeta, she's Indian, of Indian descent. Moline. Moline, Mayor Sangeeta is from Indian descent. East Moline, Mayor Freeman, he's African American.
Reggie.
Silvis, I don't want to say his name the wrong way, but he is from Mexican descent.
Okay.
I don't want to miss nothing. Rock Island, of course.
Yes, sir.
And that's the QC right there.
That's good.
Yeah.
2025. Who could believe that?
Yeah.
2025,
yeah.
Mr. Harris, man.
Yeah.
We appreciate you for coming
Mr.
and
Harris,
doing your thing.
your thing, my brother.
Hey, appreciate it, y'all.
No problem.
Man,
Appreciate
we appreciate you.
Yeah.
You the right man for the job, for real.
Hey, I would like to think so. So now it's just coming down to proving myself.
Oh, yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's what I'm here for, to prove myself.
Hey, don't worry about it, like you
Just
said.
know
Ain't
we
nobody gonna tell
behind
you
you.
nothing different.
Yeah.
We
yeah.
behind you.
We
Yeah.
behind you.
Hey.
Oh, we'll slap somebody.
Hey, for real. Hey, that's what it's gonna take. Hey, hey, they gonna have to get down and lay down. For real.
One more cup, they getting down.
I'm telling you.
We love you, my brother. We love you, for real.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it, man. That's much love, genuine love too.